2 years after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, a new book is shedding light on conservatives' years-long strategy that finally led to the Dobbs decision. The book is titled The Fall of Roe, The Rise of a New America. It explores how the right's most fervent anti-abortion activists end up persuading the court to end nearly 50 years of precedent. Joining us now, the book's co-authors, national religion correspondent for the New York Times, Elizabeth Dias, and national political correspondent for the New York Times, Lisa Lerer. Good morning to you both. Congratulations. Today is Pub Day.
Today is Pub Day.
Congratulations.
Pub Day.
Thank you.
Your baby is out into the world.
It
Here we
is.
go.
It is. It's here.
Deeply reported, like 350 interviews. You really get into the history of this issue. So it's a lot to get through, but I guess I'll start at the end, which is how the dam ultimately broke after this half-century effort to overturn Roe versus Wade. Donald Trump getting in the White House obviously put those 3 justices on the Supreme Court. But at the end, what happened that pushed it over the finish line?
So our book is really the first narrative of how Roe fell. And what we did was look at the final decade of what we call the Roe era. And what we saw in this period is this tightly connected web of conservative anti-abortion activists were able to move the levers of power in their favor in ways big and really small, working at state houses to start pushing through legislation. And then, as you point out, Donald Trump gets elected. They get really, they jump on that train. It becomes a bullet train for them. And they get really lucky. They get those 3 seats on the Supreme Court. And they're dealing with an abortion rights movement that's really ill-equipped and unprepared to take on this threat. And a country that really has this pervasive sense of denial that this right that's been part of American life for 2 generations could suddenly disappear.
So, Elizabeth, Donald Trump, obviously, evangelicals were skeptical of him in 2015, even in 2016. He had talked about being pro-choice many times in public previous to that. And then maybe ultimately they realized they can perhaps shape him a little bit because he so desperately wants to be elected that they can dictate what they want from him.
They did. And one of the really interesting things we found, too, is it wasn't just evangelicals, right? That actually Catholics played a really important role in the anti-abortion movement's growth origins. Evangelicals were actually late coming to that in history. And the leaders of the anti-abortion movement actually really were rooted in their conservative Christian values about family, womanhood, and of course, abortion. And what our story shows is that it was those values that really were behind the movement. I mean, certainly, as Lisa was saying, there's all these levers of power that they pulled. But at its core, this is all happening over a period when America is becoming increasingly secular. There's so much cultural change, especially when it comes to marriage, family, and sex. And these are the things that the anti-abortion movement ultimately is hoping to change, right? It's not just about overturning Roe. It's about a much bigger half-century plan to really roll back the sexual revolution.
Joe, you've watched this so closely from the point of view of faith, but also through politics over the course of your life and your career, culminating once Donald Trump is in the White House with 50 years of precedent overturned.
Right, 50 years of precedent overturned. And Elizabeth, you are right. Catholics have been pro-life for quite some time. As I always joke on this show, evangelicals, my church, Southern Baptists, were pro-choice from the time of Jesus' birth until the Eagles broke up. When you say a new America, I think it's interesting. It was a new Republican Party and the redefinition by political activists in 1979, 1980, what it meant to be an evangelical, what it meant to be a Christian. And you had people like Paul Weyrich and, Richard Viguerie and Jerry Falwell just deciding whole cloth, this is how we beat a Southern Baptist Democrat. So I'm curious, how did their political machinations in 1979 and 1980 not only change American politics, but based on your reporting, how did it change how evangelicals looked at their own faith and bringing in this political controversy that many now put at the center of their faith?
Well, look, you could think about politics influencing religion or religion influencing politics. And the story that we've been really seeing, you guys have been talking about on this show for so long, is in the Trump era, especially in this last decade, we're really seeing the merging of those two things and politics influencing religion. And you can think back to this very long game, the anti-abortion movement. Conservative Christians think in generations about change. It's not just a political cycle, but also the people that you mentioned, right? That's a couple generations ago. And what our book talks about is there was actually this most recent generation that actually got overturning Roe over the finish line was really led by conservative Christian women. And they have a vision of what it means to be a woman in America, how motherhood fits into that really changed the game in the end. And it's not just the story of kind of the 80s religious right. There's a modern religious right that is enormously influential. And it's not just on issues about abortion, it's issues, all kinds of cultural issues in this whole realm about rolling back the sexual revolution.